What's up, everybody? This is Rob of Archangel Inc., www.archangelinc.com, and this is part 2 of our series on the published professional. So, chapter 2, the next section here, is the introduction. And the main idea that I share in this introduction is the story that I shared in the first chapter about Alex Goldstein and making $70,000 by accident. It isn't an outlier. It isn't unusual. Now, not everybody obviously will be able to make $70,000 doing real estate, but the idea that you can make money by publishing a book and then building your business through that, it's actually a good strategy. It can work in lots and lots of different avenues, lots of different arenas. And it's probably going to be a strategy that is increasingly employed because self-publishing makes it, in a lot of ways, really easy to get a book out there. Again, it used to be the case that there were a handful of publishers, and those served as gatekeepers. So the books that actually ended up getting published were highly select, and it wasn't as accessible for the average business person. But with self-publishing options out there today, the average business person can actually get a book out there and share their story. Now, my thesis, my idea, is that this is a strategy that will be increasingly employed. And if you have the opportunity now to get in sort of at the ground floor on your own terms, you can do that. You can take advantage of this opportunity before almost everybody has it. There is a story that somebody shared on the one of the reviews for this book on Amazon about competitive advantage, about a town 50, 70 years ago, whenever it was, when air conditioning was first starting to be introduced. And they were a diner. They had a competitor, I guess, who was maybe doing a little bit better. But this particular diner offered air conditioning, and they were able to outcompete the other diner that was maybe more established or maybe in some ways more popular because they had this competitive advantage. They recognized the writing on the wall that people were really going to be looking for this and took advantage of it, and they were able to build their business and so forth. Now, again, that's not to say that if you have a subpar business, that having a good marketing strategy is the best way to dupe your customers or something. Or excuse me, having a better marketing strategy. Yeah, it's going to be the best way to dupe your customers. We don't want that. Obviously, we still want to focus on quality. So please make sure you do the right thing and put out a good book for your customers. But being able to take advantage of that competitive advantage before everybody else is in the market, everybody else is in the arena, that could be a good thing for your business. It allows you to enter the domain on your terms rather than on somebody else's terms. I've spent a lot of time, I would say, in the last couple of years, along with many people, listening to Jordan Peterson. And one of the things that he talks about is it's always better to confront the dragon on your own terms rather than wait for it to come and try and attack you. So waiting until everybody else has a book and you're the only business person who doesn't, and trying to catch up and figure out what's going on, figure out what the market looks like and what your customers are expecting, that may not be your best advantage. If you can actually do that, you can do it on your own terms to some degree, set the terms of the discourse, and put yourself in a position where you really might be able to put your best foot forward and succeed. So that's the idea. The second part of this chapter is the suggestion to self-assess, to be really honest with yourself. Is this something that you're going to be able to do realistically on your own? As a business person, you probably have lots and lots of obligations, lots of things that you need to do that take up your time and energy. And learning publishing, learning how to format a book, learning how to write and edit a book, learning how to do the cover design, learning how to do the audio production, all of that stuff, if it's not your strong suit, it may not be worth it to try and do it on your own, because then it's just one more thing in your list of tasks that maybe is going to offer some increase in business, but very likely is not going to be feasible or realistic or a good use of your time. And so I share this story of Mike Flint, who was the pilot to Warren Buffett. And basically, Warren Buffett said, "Hey, listen, make a list of your top priorities, and then narrow that list down." And he says, "Okay, so these are the ones that you're going to focus on, the top, handful, 5 or whatever. And the other ones that you listed, what are you going to do? And Mike Flint says, oh, well, I'll try and focus on them a little bit as I have time. And Warren Buffett said, no, that is the wrong answer. What you're going to do is ignore them completely until you have your top priorities addressed. If they're not a priority, then treat them as if they're not a priority. And make sure that the things that are a priority are treated with the utmost attention and care and detail so that, again, you can actually succeed. And there's a benefit to really prioritizing your time and energy, and make sure to do that. I shared one other quote from Gary Vaynerchuk, which is you have to double down on your strengths and punt your weaknesses. And so the idea there is, if publishing is not your strong suit, if it's not something that you're naturally drawn to, even if it's not your strong suit yet, but it's something that you're like, oh yeah, fine, sure, I guess I can sort of learn how to do that. If that's the case, then maybe it's not the best use of your time. Maybe you're much better off doing something that you're really great at, that you really like to do, especially something that you're great at and that you really like to do that other people aren't great at and don't like to do, because you're going to reap greater dividends doing that. And so, I talk about Archangel Inc., and that's why we're here. That's what we try to do. We try and make that process easy and turnkey and professional so that you can have a minimum of involvement in something that is not your passion, is not your greatest strength, but the end product is going to be something that you can really stand behind and something that you can really benefit from. So that is the second chapter of the introduction. Any questions, any comments, any thoughts or ideas, feel free to share them down below. Once again, I will answer them in a future video or in the comments as best I'm able to. This is Rob Archangel of archangelinc.com, and we are talking about the published professional. Thanks all for watching, and I will see you all next time.